Hello friends, my name is Claire and this is a fourplex I designed in The Sims 4. This is built in the world that came with the Snowy Escape pack, and I would just like to apologize for my voice. I am currently sick. Hopefully my sore throat will go away by the time my next video gets posted, and so we are in the first unit of this fourplex. I decided to do this fourplex because the lot it is on kind of looks like there could be like a back alleyway. There's not just one way to get into this house. It is built kind of more in the city area of the world that came with Snowy Escape, Mount Kamiari, and so I really love how in Japan there is a designated shoe drop zone, and I was imagining that the sim that would be in this unit would be a private chef that would have a space for clients to test out the food, and so I wanted there to be a lot of shoe storage for this apartment or this unit. And so we are just in the kitchen, and pretty much all of the kitchens are the same. I did try to give some differences with the colors, but I wanted it to still feel like the same. All four of these units are rented out, and the builder wanted it to be consistent, but they did want it to have some personality, some differences, and so I personally at this time do not have the for rent pack, but I heard that it is easier to build a residential lot and then change it into a rental lot. So if you do have a for rent pack, then hopefully that'll be easier for you. I really wanted this dining space to kind of show the clients what type of food this sim makes, and I just wanted this to be kind of a calm, peaceful state, not have it be too overwhelming. I'm sorry, I'm sick and I don't really want to do too many takes of voiceover, so please just ignore my mess ups. And so we are just going to be adding some windows, more trying to see if the windows will look good in the space. I feel like it did look good, I just didn't really want the fridge to be seen, and so we are just going to be adjusting the door trying to figure out what to put on this wall. I did want it to be simple, but I did want it to not have any empty walls, especially since this wallpaper I chose is like a plain white, and so I felt like it needed some pictures on it. And all of these apartments do have the Murphy bed from the Tiny Living pack, except for one of the rooms on the second level. And so we are just going to be adding a little TV space and going and adding a proper eating space. There's not really a space for the sim to work, and so I decided to use this countertop and then put a laptop on there. It will work just fine and be function just as well. And so we are just going to add a computer. I do add this one from Discovery University, but I do change it to be the laptop from the Dream Home Decorator, which is locked, but I try not to use only one single item when I'm doing a build from a pack. And so we are just going to be adding a little note behind that box that says, please take off your shoes. Hopefully this sim who has a lot of clients, and they need to have a sign so the sim doesn't always have to be cleaning up people's dirty shoes. Anyway, we are just going into the bathroom space. This is another space that's pretty similar to the other main floor bathroom unit, and so we are just going to be adding some sinks, going to be adding this cool shower from the Snowy Escape pack. And if you guys got any packs for Christmas, please let me know. I would love to do some pack restricted builds for you. I think that'd be really fun to do like a cats and dogs, just the base game and cats and dogs, or just the get together pack and the base game. And so if you guys got any builds or any packs and you'd like me to use those packs in a build, and then you could download it on The Sims, I would love to do that. And so we are just going to be adding this dresser from the Snow Escape pack, and I was thinking of like making it the dresser for instead of having these bookshelves, but I decided to keep the bookshelves and instead put the dresser by the front door more. So maybe the sim has like clothes to wear for the clients to give them like a full experience. And so we are just going to be adding a separate toilet room. This is popular in Japan to have like a separate area for your Sims to use the bathroom, or for people to use the bathroom, and I really like that. I try to do that already in my Sims builds, and so we are just going to be layering these rugs on top of each other just to give it some bit of a custom feel to it. And so we are just going to be finishing up that first main floor unit and going to the second unit, which I was imagining would be for a little bit of a adrenaline junkie sim or a adventurous sim. The Snow Escape pack came with these cool hanging like coat rack things that look like a mountain and look like skis, and so I wanted to use that as some inspiration for this sim. Maybe the sim lives in Mount Canary, but they're always like climbing a mountain or going skiing, and so we are just going to be starting off in the kitchen, and this living space is pretty simple. I did keep it similar, like I said, to the first one, with the cabinets being the same, and so we are just going to be adjusting these shelving. I do put the items into the bedroom just to make it not seem so obvious. Maybe if their friends are over, that they already know that this sim likes climbing mountains, they don't really need to be reminded about the Sims' love for the outdoors and adventuring. And so I was thinking of adding that TV from the base or from the tiny house pack, but I decided not to, and instead using this table that kind of looks like a snowboard, just to go more with that theme. I feel like this is a really cool table in of itself that I honestly forgot about until I used it here. And so we are just going to be adding a bookshelf. I tried to keep this area very simple because like I said, I imagine that Sim doesn't spend too much time in their apartment. They spend more time climbing mountains and going skiing. And so we are just going to be adding a bed. This is the only unit that has a proper bed in like the room. All of the other free units have like the Murphy bed system, and so we are just going to be giving them a customized closet system from the Dream Home Decorator pack. I really love how we can make custom closets now, and I kind of wish that in a way this could be a feature in the base game. I guess we do have like our own, like there are like hanging clothes storage. Maybe I should use more of those base game. I should do just a base game build in general. Like this video if you think I should do a base game build. And so we are just going to be adding a light. Again, just keeping this area pretty simple, but I did add a mural behind the bed. I feel like this would be kind of fun, like have like the mountain rock climbing gear with the mural, because it looks like the rock climbing gear is like kind of coming out of the mural. And maybe it's a little weird to have like a mural in like a space you'd be renting, but I did make a unit for an artist, so maybe they got the artist to do it for them, or maybe the artist is like the unit owner of all 4 of these, and so they're like, well, I can do it because I'm the owner of the building. And so we are now just in the bathroom area for the upper level apartment, and this does have a different layout than the first apartment, just because I wanted to give it some things. This is a different space, and I liked how this one gave a little bit more privacy to the shower, and so I think this bathroom might be bigger, although it's hard to tell because the toilet room is in the bathroom. The one downstairs, you had to like leave the bathroom to go into the toilet room. I personally like this design better because it just seems a little bit less roundabouty, and so we are just going to be adding some light switches and finishing up. And now we are in the back of the apartment or the building, and I wanted this area to have like some more like community areas. So I have a grill and a picnic table, and going adding some benches in here. I decided to have this area in the back of the house because it seemed more private. The front of the house is obviously more public, and so we are just going to be adding some vertical planters, but I felt like this would look better in the front of the house since the first unit is for a private chef, and so we are just going to be going and adding those. And I do move that chair that I originally had in the front into the back, and now we are just going to be going inside of the 3rd unit, and so I decided to go for a more darker color scheme in the kitchen, and I'm pretty sure that this unit I end up making for a writer who needs like their own little private workspace. And so we are just going to first be seeing if I want this area to be like a private bedroom, but it was a little bit smaller than I imagined once I put it in the bed, but I knew I needed to have something in that corner to cover up the tree branches that are coming through the wall. I tried to rotate it, I tried to make it, but I just needed it to be perfectly how it was, and so I'm just like, I'll just add a tall thing to hide it, and it's the same as the first unit that I showed you. The little Japanese tapestry kind of hides the fact that the tree is coming through the wall. I mean, it's not like a tree house coming through the wall, it's like just like the branches, so I didn't think it would be that big of a deal. Just put something to kind of cover it up. And so we do add the TV unit that I originally had in the 2nd unit for the Adrenaline Junkie sim, and I do make this area for taking shoes off a little bit smaller so it could fit the bed better. And so I was feeling like that would be okay, just since like the sim maybe doesn't have as many Sims coming through their house testing food, and so we are just going to be adding some musical instruments into the corner. I just was trying to honestly find something to fill it in the space. I wanted this area to be very simple and calming. I kind of wanted like all the spaces to feel that way. And so I just wanted to just put some musical instruments, and it's functional. Your Sims can gain some skill from there. And now we are just going to be adding some pictures. I feel like since this is a small space, it was easy to just kind of go back and forth. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't add any cabinets or add any pictures into the kitchen. I should go back and do that now. And so we are just going to be adding some pictures into this office area, and I wanted this like bookshelf to be nice and decorated, just in case maybe the sim has a lot of like video conferences, and so like having a bookshelf would be a nice little background for them. And so you're just going to be gently cluttering this space and going to be finishing up this unit. Just going to be adding some light switches and going to be adding this dresser from the tiny living pack. I know you can also use like the mirrors and it will function just as a dresser, but I wanted it to kind of be realistic in a way where like they need a dresser to store their clothes, and so we are just going to be adding some more items on the walls, and now we are going into the bathroom. It's pretty similar to the one on the first floor, although I did try to make it different in a way where like the showers arranged differently and like the sinks on a different tile or on the other side. And so again, this bathroom is pretty similar. I'm not showing you the last one just because it felt repetitive to show you 3 bathrooms that are kind of very similar, and so we are just going to be adding just those little details and going to be heading up onto the 4th unit pretty soon, which I designed for an artist, and so this is going to start pretty similar to the 2nd unit I showed you. I'm sorry if you guys are getting confused of like which is which. I did try to label the units in the end screenshots, and so hopefully that helps you follow along. I do have them going pretty quickly because I forgot I had my editing software zoomed, and so it looked like the screenshots were like longer than they needed to be, but it's also the end of the video, and I felt like it was a pretty good speed to like follow along. You just need to like look kind of in the the left lower hand corner to see which unit we are in, and so we are just going to make this last unit pretty simple as the last ones, but I wanted the color scheme to be kind of more light, bright, just wanted this to be more clean since it's an artist, and so we are just going to be adding these pictures from the Tiny Living pack, which I forgot about. I feel like I used most of items from the Tiny Living in this unit, and so we are just going to be adding a basket of towels and making this area really lived in, very loved, and so we are now just in the place where the sim can do their art, kind of have this room be like a workspace in a way where it's like, okay, I can only be in this room for a certain time, so I'm not like overworking myself, and so make sure to have an easel since the sim is an artist, but I also want to make sure there's a desk for them to like maybe get clients online, sell their items on Plopsy. I don't know if you can actually sell art items on Plopsy, but I know you can sell crochet items on Plopsy, or knitted items on Plopsy, and so I do give them an art tablet, and going to be just decorating this space and finishing up this video. So we are just going to be figuring out the best layout for this desk area. I wanted this to feel like a sim that like is very visual, and you need to have like all their items out so they can see it, so they can know where it is, and so we are just going to be adding a lot of items on here, but I was still trying to keep it pretty simple. And I did forget to add a TV into the space, but they do have a computer, so I think they can still get their fun up in that way. And so we are just going to be adding some final details into the other units, and we are getting close to the end of the video. If you enjoyed what you saw, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, thank you to those who have already subscribed. That means the world to me. If you want information on this build, please check the description. I have all of the information down there. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram and the Sims Gallery so you can be the first to play in my houses. I hope to see you all next week, and hope you all have a good one. Bye!